Welcome to Nurse Next Door's Power of Happier Aging presentation. Thank you for taking the time to join us today and learn more about what we mean by happier aging. Just like doing some exercises to help keep your muscles strong, doing some exercises to help keep your mindsets and thinking patterns strong is just as important for our overall health, happiness, and well-being. Research has shown that if we work on cultivating more positive emotions in our lives, that our overall happiness and well-being can improve. So today, we are going to work through some of our favorite activities that have the potential to do this for you if you opened your mind to the possibility. It has been said by psychologists that the quality of our life will be determined by the quality of our thinking. So our short session today is designed to help you improve the quality of your thinking. Whatever stage of life we are at, it is never too late to change our attitude and train one's mind to develop those traits that lead to greater happiness. The power is in our hands. New habits can replace previously negative ones, weaker can become stronger, and we can reverse a lot more things than people realize. We can reboot, rewire, and reinvent. The great news is that improving the quality of our thinking and working towards having a more positive mindset does not require any previous experience. This is free and you can start straight away. From the moment we are born, we are aging, and this is something we cannot control. Inevitably, over the course of one's life, there will be illness and loss. But if we actively seek to cultivate and nurture positive emotions, this can be its antidote and one of the keys to living a happier later life to the fullest. The ability to deal with challenges that life throws at us is not something that we're either born with or we aren't. One of the most exciting findings from recent research is that coping strategies, like many other life skills, can be learned, practiced, and honed, often with wide-reaching effects on the quality of our lives. The power to choose the way we frame aging or the way we see our own lives is within everyone's grasp and should empower us to work on our mindset because of the potential it holds to improve and enhance the quality of our lives, especially as we go down the path of life. Research in the field of positive psychology and happiness often defines a happy person as someone who experiences frequent positive emotions like joy, hope, pride, and gratitude, and infrequent, though not absent, negative emotions such as sadness, anxiety, and anger. It is important to note that happy aging is not about being in a constant state of unbridled joy, but rather it is about cultivating more positive emotions so that the way we think about our life contributes to our overall well-being and quality of life. Here are the statistics. Psychologists originally relied on the belief that happiness is genetic and that we are either born to be happy or not. Research now tells us that even if we have happy genes, there is no guarantee of happiness. Happiness is far more complex than that, but, put simply, psychologists believe that 50% of our happiness is due to genetics, 10% to our life circumstances, and an amazing 40% is within our control. Because we can control how we choose to react to what happens to us, this is the part that will ultimately determine our overall happiness and well-being. So whilst it is easier said than done to always look on the bright side of life, trying to shift our perspective from negative to positive is so important to our health and well-being, and that is where the work comes in. At times, it is not easy. Perhaps a loved one has passed, or your health is failing. But with practice, we can learn to turn things around in our minds and impact how much positive emotion is in our lives. Whatever the outcome, if you have tried to turn a negative thought around, then you are on the right track. If you don't believe that you can change your well-being and happiness by simply changing your thoughts, then let's consider the placebo effect. Have you heard of the placebo effect? The placebo effect is the positive effect on a person's health after taking a placebo or fake pill. It is triggered by the person's belief in the benefit of the treatment and their expectation on feeling better rather than the specific form the placebo takes. The placebo effect is an amazing example of the power of the mind and illustrates that how our perceptions or what we think can actually influence our biology. So today we are here to talk about strategies we can use to get the most out of that 40% that is within our control. We hope that during this presentation you remain open to that possibility and that each of you come away with at least one thing that resonated with you today that you can try in your own life. This is where it all starts. One small step can have a big positive change. To start our journey to happier aging, the first exercise that we will do together is to ground ourselves, be mindful, and breathe. Mindful breathing practices have been around for centuries and practiced by many cultures all over the world as a strategy to calm your mind, improve your focus, and center yourself. It promotes concentration and improves vitality. Today we will practice a simple breathing technique you can do at any place and any time. So please, take a moment to get comfortable. Ensure that your back is supported and your feet are firmly on the floor. Breathe as you normally would for now. In a moment, we will be breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, breathing out for 4 seconds, and holding for 4 seconds. We will do this 4 times. When we begin, I want you to take a deep breath in slowly through your nose, allowing your chest and lower belly to rise as you fill your lungs with air. Let your abdomen expand fully. Then, breathe out slowly through your mouth. Are we ready? In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Great work. You should feel a sense of calm right now. This deep breathing technique is something you can use anytime, anywhere to calm your mind and body. Remember that deep breathing techniques have a wide range of benefits. It can help reduce your resting heart rate, calm your nervous system, and lower your blood pressure. Have you ever felt there must be more to life? Well, good news is there is. And it's right here in front of us. We just need to stop and take notice. The breathing activity we just practiced is a great way to help you become grounded in the present moment. So often we can be preoccupied worrying about the future or ruminating about the past, that our worries and concerns trigger the release of a stress hormone. So not only are we stressing ourselves through mindless thinking patterns, we are oblivious to the goodness that surrounds us in the present moment. Mindfulness can be described as an active state of mind characterized by being situated in the present, and learning to be more mindful and aware can do wonders for our well-being in all areas of life. It helps us get in tune with our feelings and stops us dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, so we get more out of the day-to-day. With only subtle shifts in our thinking, we can begin to change the ingrained behaviors that sap health, optimism, and vitality from our lives. So if you ever feel your mind racing and filled with negative thoughts about the past or the future, remember to practice your breathing. Did you know that research has found that happiness can improve heart health, enhance the immune system, reduce disease, increase longevity, and in some cases, alleviate pain? Remarkably, a positive mindset has been found to be a greater advantage than having low systolic blood pressure or low cholesterol, and can potentially add quality years to our lives, as the next example will demonstrate. Age can be described in three different ways. Chronological age is a person's age in years and is based solely on the passage of time. Biological age is the cumulative result of everything that has impacted on the health and function of your cells over your life. Psychological age is based on how people act and feel. For example, an 80-year-old who participates in lots of activities and is optimistic about their future would be considered psychologically young. We are a mind-body system, meaning if we think and therefore feel negative and self-limiting patterns about ourselves, then our bodies will live that too. On the flip side, optimism has been shown to add years to your life. Here is an example. This is June. June is 75. She's pretty healthy, right? She eats well and exercises, has a pet, and gets support from people around her. But we noted that June does tend to focus on the things that are stressful or negative in her life and is a pessimist. For June, the glass is always half empty. Her biological age is 74. Not bad. As you would expect, her biological age reflects her healthy and active lifestyle. Now, let's make one minor change for June. This is June. June is 75, and as we know, she eats well, exercises regularly, and so on. But this version of June doesn't let stressful situations get her down. She's an optimist who sees the possibilities and looks at the glass half full. Her biological age? She is 62. Exactly the same healthy, active lifestyle, but two things are different. Her outlook, that is whether she's optimistic or pessimistic, and how she handles stress. Now, I think we all know that if we smoke or drink too much or eat junk food every day, this is going to affect our health. But what we maybe don't realize is how much of an impact the way we think can affect our health and therefore our biological age. As June's story shows, optimism and how we process stress is a huge determining factor of our overall well-being and biological age. Life is tough and full of challenges, and each life stage brings with it something different. But the fact is, no one gets through life without being in stressful situations. So it's how we handle the stress and where we choose to focus our thoughts and shift our mindset. The great news is optimism and how we handle stress are things we can work on. In the same way we choose to do an exercise to improve our strength and fitness, or we choose an apple over a donut for a morning snack to keep us a healthy weight and our blood pressure in check, we can choose how we think about things. We can choose to seek out things that we know make us happy. Just like going to the gym. Sometimes it is hard, but you know it is worth the effort. From the little things, big things grow. You just have to take the first step. It's time to get you smiling. There is some research that shows that when our body makes the face of happiness, it actually causes you to be happier. What do I mean? Well, the idea is that by activating the muscles in your face that are responsible for smiling, you actually then experience the emotion that goes with the muscle activation. Having your muscles in a smiling activation? Crazy sounding, I know, but there has been other research that has replicated these effects. Pick a pen, pencil, or chopstick and turn it sideways, just like the image above. as you hold the pen or chopstick in your mouth, can you feel these muscles in your face being activated? Psychologists call this the Duchenne smile, which is when your facial muscles lift the corners of your mouth and at the same time lift your cheeks and crinkle your eyes at the corner. The effect of this smile demonstrates the facial feedback theory of emotion, which suggests that individuals' emotional experience can be influenced by their facial expressions. For example, smiling should typically make people feel happier and frowning would make them feel sadder. The idea is simple. Your brain is constantly monitoring what is happening in your body. It analyzes things like muscle tension, posture, heart rate, breathing, and yes, facial expressions to judge how you are feeling. Put yourself in a happier position and you can boost your mood. The pencil trick works because it forces your face to mimic a genuine smile, recruiting just the muscles of the mouth, cheeks, and eyes that come to life when you are happy. So, am I actually telling you to hold a pen in your mouth as you go about your day? Of course not. If you still got it in your mouth, you can take it out. But the real point is that by simply smiling, you might find a real increase in positive emotions as you go about your day. Find opportunities to smile. Now, let's talk about our mindset for a moment and how we can impact the 40% that we have control of. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. Our current set of beliefs or way of thinking will determine not only our behavior, but impact our overall health and happiness. Just like the placebo effect, whatever you put in your mind, you're necessarily putting in the body. This is why I want to encourage you today to challenge yourself by shifting your beliefs and adopting a growth mindset. There are two types of mindset: fixed mindset or negative mindset, and growth mindset or positive mindset. Firstly, one thing to remember is that mindset is a spectrum. It is not black and white. That is, you are not one or the other, but rather a combination of the two. Which one do you identify with? A fixed mindset would normally be considered a negative or pessimistic mindset because it leads to a desire to stay within one's comfort zone and therefore a tendency to avoid challenges. Some examples of a fixed mindset would be avoiding challenges. I don't want to try because I might fail. When faced with obstacles, gives up easily. It's too hard. I can't do this. Sees effort as fruitless. Why should I bother? This is good enough. Ignores useful feedback. I'm a burden to everyone. Feels threatened by the success of others. I'm not going to age as well as my friends. A growth mindset is usually considered a positive or optimistic mindset as it leads to a desire to learn and therefore a tendency to be happy to work outside one's comfort zone. Some examples of a growth mindset would be embracing challenges, which enables happier aging. Persists in the face of setbacks, which enables happier aging. Sees effort as the path to mastery, which enables happier aging. Welcomes and learns from feedback, which enables happier aging. Finds inspiration in the success of others, which enables, and you got it, happier aging. To illustrate the growth mindset and fixed mindset, here is a tale of two seeds. Here are two seeds, both planted on the same day, in the same soil, in the same garden bed. One is very curious, full of life, and ready to grow as tall as it can. The other is filled with fear. What if the sun is too strong and burns my leaves once I grow, it thinks. What if the beast eats my tender sprouts? No way, not a chance I'm leaving my shell. So it remains still and stagnant, rigid in its place. The brave seed
feels the heat of the sun above and starts to push hard out of its shell. Sure, it has doubts about reaching the outside world, but its curiosity is stronger than anything. I want to see all the living creatures of this garden, it thinks. I can't wait to feel the morning dewdrops on my leaves. The little seed keeps pushing until a single sprout comes out. It grows and grows through sunny, warm days. It even grows through stormy days, colder days, because the brave seed knows that even after the rain, the sun will always return. Throughout life, you will have moments when you feel like either one of these seeds, but having a growth mindset and remembering that you can control 40% of your happiness with how you choose to react to the outside world, you might even find that a little rain won't bother you much at all.
So now I ask you again, which mindset do you identify with the most? If you are more prone to having a fixed mindset, let's talk about the power of yet and how this simple word can be a small step to help you reframe your thinking. How do we change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset is adding yet. If you tend to have a more negative mindset, then it is good to know how to reframe a negative thought and then practice this a lot. We can tend to see the most negative possible outcomes of a situation that didn't go the way we wanted. But not getting what we want can sometimes put us in a better position and on a better path than we ever thought possible. One trick is to consider all the positive benefits of a negative situation. Let's have a go at reframing something by trying to add yet. Fixed mindset. I'm not sure I can do that. Growth mindset. I'm not sure I can do that yet, but with support and effort, I can try. I can't do that ends a story. I can't do that yet means anything is possible. So why is it so hard for us to develop a growth positive mindset? One of the challenges of creating a positive or growth mindset is something called the brain's negativity bias, which is simply that negative experiences have a greater effect on one's psychological state than positive experiences. Did you know that it can take about 5 pleasant experiences to balance a single negative one of equal magnitude? Why is it that negative thoughts stick to us like Velcro and positive thoughts don't? Well, the answer is that through evolution, the negativity bias has been wired into our brains because throughout history, it has been far more important that we survive than be happy. Let's take the example shown on the screen. Our brains have evolved to be fearful and pay far more attention to negative experiences in order to survive. The negativity bias creates an automatic response to a threat, known as the flight, fight, or freeze response. And years ago, this response helped our bodies to instantly get into a state of readiness to protect ourselves from the saber-toothed tiger or any other threat that appeared. And believe me, back then there were many threats that truly threatened our survival, so the caveman needed to be on high alert. Negative experiences were stored into memory more quickly, ready for an instant recall in a threatening situation. So the next time the saber-toothed tiger or some other threat appeared, we had learned from our previous negative experiences and were better able to predict the threat and be better equipped to survive. In the day-to-day living of a caveman, to survive, our brains continued to search for threats so that we were able to survive. It may have served our ancestors to give more importance to the negative experience in the environment. However, in this modern age, this type of thinking does not serve us well because dwelling or focusing on the negative can cause chronic stress, which can cause anxiety and depression. Today, there are no longer saber-toothed tigers, but the stress response to negative events on the body is still exactly the same. The stress response causes hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol to be pumped through our bloodstream, causing our blood pressure to rise, our breathing to become faster, and our hearts to race. As I've mentioned, there are certainly no saber-toothed tigers running around now. So the negative event that caused this stress response might be as simple as you ruminating on past events. That is why it is so important to be mindful of how we are reacting to events that happen in our lives and the self-talk or the stories we tell ourselves, especially in challenging times, because it's actually the dwelling, stress, and worry we put ourselves through that is usually far worse than the event that we're actually worrying about. So when you let go of the past and future thoughts dwelling inside, you will be able to feel a sense of freedom. So how do we let go? Here are 6 things that could help you start letting go of past negative thoughts and replacing them with more positive ones. Notice the good. Make a conscious effort to look for the positive aspects of your day and take active measures to notice the good in both the world and in yourself, because there is a lot of good that we choose not to notice. Enjoy the moment. Pay attention and give yourself ample time, at least 20 to 30 seconds, to fully enjoy a positive moment. This will help solidify a positive experience in our memory. Visualize the positivity. Identify any positive emotions you are experiencing in a day and just take a few seconds to actually visualize that positivity spreading through your body like a warm ray of sunshine. Focus on the details. Enjoy the little things. As you savor the moment, notice the little things that can make a day special. The smile of a friend, the kindness of a stranger, or the beauty of a sunset. Focus on the sensations. Create a memory of the experience. Notice the sounds you hear, like the sound of children's laughter in the background. Notice the smells, like the scent of a fresh sea breeze. And how did that wind feel on your face? In other words, be present. Noticing these sensory details helps you live fully in the moment and can evoke pleasant memories when you hear the same music, smell the same aromas, or feel other sensations you experienced on the days you savored. And finally, be thankful. Simply relish in and be thankful for the positive moment. When we consciously interact and appreciate our positive experiences, thoughts, and emotions, we can actually enhance and strengthen their neurological presence in our brains and improve our recall of that positive thought when we may need that little pick-me-up in the future. Lastly, I want to talk about the simple benefits of practicing gratitude. Did you know that science shows that being grateful increases our positive emotion and decreases our negative emotion? Being grateful is about much more than just saying thank you. It is about not taking things for granted and having a sense of appreciation and thankfulness for life. People who are grateful tend to be happier, healthier, and more fulfilled. Being grateful can also help people cope with stress and can even have a beneficial effect on heart rate. There are many activities that are designed to help you experience more gratitude. Things such as a gratitude diary, where every day we list 3 things we are grateful for. But today, we are going to do a gratitude exercise that help us savor our gratitude. I want you to think of a time you are grateful for. It can be for something right now, or it can be from 10 years ago. It can be something small, like the hug you got from your partner this morning, or a special holiday you took with your family years ago. It might be health related, that whilst you can no longer run, you are grateful that you can still walk. It does not matter what it is, so long as you feel genuinely grateful. Have you got something? Now, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to replay that moment of gratitude in your mind, to practice savoring on dwelling on a deep sense of contentment and gratitude for this moment. Where are you? What can you see? Who are you with? What is it about this moment that is making you feel so grateful? Do you feel love? or joy or meaning or surprise or simply content? Do you feel inspired or proud? Now, really savor the moment you are replaying in your mind. Notice the smile on your face. Notice how good you feel in this moment. Feel a sense of deep gratitude for this moment. Never underestimate the benefit of small steps. Without a positive approach, it is virtually impossible to age successfully because we won't be motivated to do the things that create well-being. If we lack the positivity that it takes to live a good life, it's so hard to rise from bed or even leave the house each day. So hard to smile, so hard to make contact with others, and so hard to get out of your own way and embark on a project. The reality is, we are going to have negative thoughts, but it is how we choose to react that will determine the quality of our life, and each of the exercises we have done today are designed to help you make the most of the 40% you control. As we said in the beginning, new habits can replace previously negative ones, weaker can become stronger, and we can reverse a lot more things than people realize. We can reboot, rewire, and reinvent. Whatever stage of life you're at, it's never too late for a positive change. Happier aging is about focusing on what you can do, not what you can't. To learn more about the power of happier aging, you can click the link and access our complete guide, where you will have access to the Power of Happier Aging booklet with plenty of helpful links, as well as a breathing tool. You can leave here right now and have the ability to cultivate more positive emotion and elevate greater levels of happiness. My challenge to you is to take these tools I've given you today and use them, because it might not seem like much, but it does add up. Remember that happiness and well-being is improved by small steps, but it's no small thing. Be empowered by the fact that these small steps can make a difference in your life. Thank you.